My next guest is bringing harmony to your software lifecycle. Adam Sandman is the CEO of Inflectra, and he joins me tonight via Zoom. Adam, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here, Scott. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. So explain how Inflectra is helping companies to the likes of DirecTV, Liberty Mutual, and Costco, and so many others.
So what we do in Inflectra is we help our customers and users really manage their software to have quality, speed, all coming together in a safe way. Because as you know, in the industry, we're trying to release software faster and more reliably at ever-increasing speeds because markets are requiring that. To keep up with your competitors, you have to deliver faster and more efficiently. But you also have to have quality, because the problem is if you do things faster and you make mistakes, if you're not testing properly, you don't understand the requirements correctly, what happens is you're just delivering chaos faster. And we see this in the industry. There are many cases of software projects that fail, banking applications that go down, communications that go down. If you watched the news a few days ago, in various countries, there's been telco outages. It's all because software is pushed too quickly into production, isn't adequately tested, there isn't adequate oversight, and it can be a lack of quality in the software, or it can be the process that got them there. So what we do at the company is provide tools that really encourage and nudge people to do things the right way, have quality software and quality processes that go with it.
And you're taking out that frustration, because how many times have we downloaded an app or some sort of software and then immediately the company says, we have an update for you, I'm talking to you, Apple, but we're not going to name names. Hey, when you talk about business harmony, what do you mean when you talk about business harmony?
Yeah, harmony means several different things to us. One of us at the business level is really harmony around our partners, stakeholders, users, employees, and customers. A lot of times I think people will try and build an amazing product, but do it so quickly that they do it on the backs of their team, which is unsustainable. If you're working with other companies that are your partners, you want to make sure that they're in line with what you're doing and you're helping their businesses be successful. We work with a lot of small companies that do software testing or project management, and we need to make sure that what we deliver to them is making their lives easier. So there's harmony between what the customers get, what our employees have to work with, and also with our partners. The other thing I would say with harmony is trying to do it in a sustainable way for the long term, because we didn't take any investor money. So we've been able to build our software for our users rather than necessarily the whims of Wall Street and investors, which gives, I think, a much longer term perspective. We can build features and roadmaps for 2 or 3 years and give our customers the comfort that we'll be there for them 3 years from now, delivering every day for them.
Yeah, and that really kind of leads into my next question. So I want to kind of circle back and let you make that point again. How you're different from your competitors. Adam, you're not here on television saying you're the only company that's working to make things run smoothly in the world of software, but you didn't go out and raise capital, so you don't have these investors that's constantly calling you, and there's a lot of our viewers that understand that pain and having to adhere to the board. So kind of unpack that a little bit more, how you're different from your competitors and how that allows you to really focus on your clients.
Right. There's pros and cons, of course. When you don't take investor money, you have to basically bootstrap everything you're doing for the money you've already earned. So that means you have to deliver features that give value, if not immediately, in a pretty near term. So you have to blend the needs to be able to deliver for customers today. I would also be able to build to the future so that a year from now, 2 years from now, you have the functionality they need. Now, what you don't get is you don't get someone saying, we've given you a lot of money, you have to spend it all on these 5 conferences, or all these online marketing activities, or chasing these very large deals that might be an inappropriate scale for the company at that point. Because oftentimes you're focusing so much on spending money, you don't think of the long-term business, the long-term value. You're trying to sell your company somewhere else to a larger company. You're not thinking about how to build a long-term sustainable business, which ultimately means building features that your customers will need. The other thing it does, it lets you build what I would say contrarian features. A lot of our competitors have gone cloud only, and we do a lot of work on the cloud. Our products are all available on the cloud, but some of our customers, they're in high security industries. They can't do that. And the amount of software that's actually being available for those companies is much smaller and reduced. So it lets us target certain niches or niches that other big companies maybe can't target. So for other companies that are building in this space, if you're in an industry where there are lots of big competitors, targeting smaller areas that maybe the large companies have neglected can be a really good way to build differentiators, both the functional ones as in the features you have, but also the non-functional ones in some of the ways you do things. So our licensing is very different. Our pricing is different the way we organize it. So we're able to have that flexibility because we're not answering to investors who I think tend to follow a little bit of the herd because they have to be able to show valuations and metrics that their investors are expecting.
Your website is inflectra.com. It's where people can go and find you and learn a little bit more about your services. Man, a lot of good information you're sharing there. I like that little nugget on focusing on building something of value for your customer versus just thinking about who you're going to sell your business to. Man, that transcends no matter what your business is. I love that little tidbit. Talk about how you shifted, though, your development structure, how you went from this pre-sales focus to an end-to-end model, because I think that was a big shift for your company that really helped you grow.
Right. I mean, that's one of the challenges as a small company is you build something that works and then you feel like that model is going to last forever. So we started off as an online business, purely an online sales model. You sign up for the website for a trial and you self-direct yourselves through that trial. And then you basically try it. And after 30 to 60 days, you would buy it. What we found is as we were targeting more complex industries, more complex customers, like some of the ones you mentioned, they don't necessarily have the desire to do that themselves. They want to be helped through that process. So we then built a pre-sales team that would guide people. Now, they're not salespeople. They're truly people who help people understand the products. They're like guideposts or rangers helping you walk through the product. And then once the product is sold, the other thing was we previously would say, hey, we sold the product. We're done. Let's move on to the next client. And all that work to get that client was sort of lost. What we did is put in place an account management structure where we have this cycle where we look at that client, we've got the product, but that's not the end of the story, it's just the beginning. And that was a huge maturity shift for us, was to actually look at that and say, we've got into this one department in this one team in this large organization. That's the beginning of our relationship with them. Who else could benefit? What other needs do they have that either we or our partners, and bringing our partners in is really important too, can solve. So I think for anyone watching the show, if you've got a very successful sales model, it's easy to say, I'm done, let me just scale it. But it doesn't always work that way. As you scale up to other types of client and industry, the model needs to evolve. And I think that was a big shift we had to make.
Got about 30 seconds left, but as you look in your crystal ball, where would you like to see Inflectra in 5 years?
I would like to see us as a large global player that is the number one choice for customers in our target industries when they have a mission critical problem and they need a package and software tools that they can rely on. We're the number one choice.
I love that. Your website again is inflectra.com, inflectra.com. Want to make sure we get that out there so people can check you out. I appreciate your time. It's interesting, Adam, to always meet the people behind the scenes. I use a lot of the apps and softwares that you had a help in, so I appreciate the work you're doing and the work your team's doing.
Thank you, Scott.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thanks for being on the show.